To review, okay, in order to graph a line, we have to put it in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form means we need to solve for y. In this case, 4x minus 2y is less than 16. In order to solve for y, first thing I have to do is subtract 4x from both sides. So I have negative 2y is less than negative 4x plus 16. And I want to put the x first so that it's in slope-intercept form. And then I'm going to divide by negative 2. Now, just a refresher, when you divide by a negative, when you have inequality, what do you have to do? Flip the sign, okay? So I have y is greater than negative 4 divided by negative 2 is 2x. 16 divided by negative 2 is negative 8. Distribute that negative 2. Now, if you remember back to when we graphed lines, how do I graph a line? I'm going to start first with the y-intercept. Y-intercept in this case is 0, negative 8. So I'm going to start at 0, negative 8. And then my slope is 2, or 2 over 1. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1 and draw my line. Now, using what you learned about inequalities, graphing inequalities, what type of line should I use when I draw this line? A dotted line or a solid line? Since it's greater than and not equal to, we're going to use a dotted line. So when you graph this, make sure you use a dotted line. Now, the shading of this gets a little bit tricky. So I want to show you how I remember, kind of a hint. Have you guys ever, when you were kids, or maybe you have like brothers and sisters that are little, and you used to draw pictures of mountains? Okay, remember you had like a picture and you'd draw a picture of a mountain like this, and you'd put a sun there. Did anybody do that? You draw like a river down here. What's that? A little bit of a sun, like a half this. There you go. So if you were to draw a mountain, like a little kid mountain, like just like a V, think of the mountain part as the less than or equal to, okay? And think of the sky as the greater than or equal to, okay? So when I look at this right here, if I were to make this dotted line that we graphed part of my picture, okay, this side inside the mountain would be the less than or equal to side. The outside, the sky, would be the greater than and equal to sky or part. Does that make sense? Okay, so we have to then look at our symbol. This is greater than, so am I going to shade the sky or am I going to shade the mountain? The sky. Okay, so you're going to shade the sky. And that's how I remember which side to shade. I'm like, okay, if that were a part of my mountain picture, would I be shading the sky or the mountain? And it's not working, so we'll just, it's not working at all. Oh, there. Okay, let's try another one. 6x minus 12y is greater than 6y. Now here we have two y's. So in order to solve for y, I have to first combine like terms. So I'm going to add 12y to both sides so that I only have a y on one side of the equation. And then to get y by itself, I'm going to divide by 18. 6/18, if we reduce, divide the top by 6, the bottom by 6 is just 1/3. And now, be careful when you get to this point because you want to make sure you put the y on the left. Okay, so I have y is less than 1/3 x. And then I'm going to graph that. Now, when you don't have anything there, what do we assume our y-intercept is? 0. Yeah, it's 0, 0. And my slope is 1/3. So I'm going to start at 0, 0. And I'm going to go up 1 over 3. Or down 1 back 3. So I have a solid line or a dotted line. dotted line because of the less than symbol. So let's grab the dotted line. And now we have to decide if we're shading below or above. Below, so we shade the mountain part, which would be the ground, or the bottom. My smartboard's a little behind. Oh, come on. Yeah, all of a sudden, there it all is. All right, this is number 1 on 2A worksheet 2. X is greater than or equal to -4. Now this is a special line because what is the slope of an x equals line when you don't have a y? Not 0. Think of slope, dude. Undefined. Okay? This one's undefined. So what does an undefined line look like? No? It's vertical. Okay? So we have a vertical line, okay, at -4. Now do I want a solid line or a dotted line? Solid. Very good. Because of the equal to. And since it's greater than, we would shade above, but this is kind of hard to think about that because it's a vertical line. So where are the values bigger than -4? Greater than -4? Are they to the right or to the left? To the right. Very good. So we want to shade this one to the left. Here goes the shading again. Behind. On the back of the same worksheet, number 12, it says in the directions, state whether the point is a solution to the inequality. So number 12 is 7x plus 2y is greater than -5. These questions are very common on standardized tests. Basically, it's asking, is the point -1, 1 in the shaded area if you were to graph it? Okay, well, how do we know that if we don't have the graph? You can A, either graph it, or B, just plug in the values for x and y and see if it's true. Okay, so I have 7 times -1 plus 2 times 1 is greater than -5. 7 times -1 is -7. 2 times 1 is 2. -7 plus 2 is -5. So is -5 greater than -5? No. So is that point a solution? No, it's not. And that's how you complete the back. Yeah, that's not bad.